This is Angela here, and tonight I want to talk about the covert narcissist and tips on how to spot a covert narcissist. Um, Covert narcissists can be very hard to spot because, unlike the overt narcissist, who's very arrogant and very berating and very condescending and just comes off as this bad person, a covert narcissist can come off rather charming, likable, um, and they can come off as being this poor person that is just down on their luck. Okay. And this type of narcissist will attract an empath. Okay. But keep in mind that the covert narcissist, unlike the overt narcissist, can do a lot of destruction more so because, in my opinion, a covert narcissist is much worse than an overt narcissist. Although the abuse is still just as bad, okay? The reason why the covert narcissist is worse is because with an overt narcissist, what you see is what you get pretty much. But with the covert narcissist, they can play the victim role quite well. And they're able to recruit flying monkeys so much easier than the overt narcissist. So basically, the most uh, dangerous, in my opinion, the most dangerous type of covert narcissist is the narcissist that I call the victim. Okay. The victim narcissist is somebody that is both a victim of narcissistic abuse. Okay. Either they were raised by narcissists and became narcissists themselves, or they're just covert narcissists for whatever reason. So they're both victim and narcissist, okay? And they can be quite hard to spot, okay? Quite very hard to spot. And this is how they draw in their victims. They come off as this poor, persecuted individual who just needs to be loved. They prey on your compassion, your sympathy, your empathy, all the traits that make you a good living human person. Okay. That's what they do. And how to spot them is quite difficult, but there is a way that you can spot them. Okay. And I've missed this on so many occasions where I didn't see that I was dealing with a covert narcissist until it was too late. And by that time, they had already done tremendous amount of damage to my life, because they are quite vicious when you start catching on. First thing they do is they tell you this sob story about how everyone is persecuting them. And they may even be somewhat telling the truth if they're a victim of narcissistic abuse. Okay, let's say a covert narcissist was raised by narcissistic parents. So they're going to tell you how their parents abused them and talk about all their childhood trauma and everything to really get you to get you sucked into them. Okay. The second thing that they do is they talk about how people on their job is persecuting them, or that they can't get a job because there's no jobs around and they're down on their luck. And, everything about this person seems to be going wrong. They just can't catch a break. Okay. And that's when they start working on you. Okay, that's when they start working on you. They see that that you're being empathetic to them. You probably, give them money. You're always listening to all their drama, and then they start sucking you into their drama, and you got all of this negativity from them. And before you know it, unknowingly, you've become not only one of their narcissistic supply, but you could unknowingly become a flying monkey for them, because somebody may actually recognize that this person is full of crap and call them out on it, and you're actually defending that person, okay? And so you unknowingly become a flying monkey for that person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but here's how you spot it. If a person is a covert narcissist who was once a victim of narcissistic abuse, let's say they were raised by parents of narcissists, they're going to talk about their experience, and they're only going to talk about the abuse that the so-called narcissist inflicted on them. Okay, you're never going to hear how the narcissistic abuse affected other people. You'll hear very little or nothing at all. Okay, like in my situation, let's just use me for an example. I was raised by a mother who was I would say a narcissist. I don't know if she had narcissistic personality disorder because she was never diagnosed by a doctor, but she had all the traits of a narcissistic, of somebody with full-blown narcissistic personality disorder. She really did. I had done a series on my channel called Reunion with Narcissistic Mother, and I did that for two reasons. Number one was because I wanted to show people what a relationship was like between myself and my narcissistic mother, and I also wanted to show people, I wanted to give her an opportunity to defend herself, okay, which she didn't, or either admit or deny what was being said about her. I gave her that opportunity, and no, she didn't have dementia. But anyway, I digress. I want to go back to the subject matter at hand, okay? I've also talked about how my narcissistic mother's abuse affected my siblings, my father, my grandmother, and that we were all part of we all had a role in the narcissistic dynamic dysfunction. So that's how you'll know, okay? Number two way that you could spot a covert narcissist is if they're talking about a certain situation, okay, and you challenge what they're saying. Like if you say, well, that doesn't sound right, did you check into this or to that? They'll either start raging or they're going to get extremely defensive, and they're not going to give you any details, okay? They're not going to answer your questions. They're going to be quite angry at you for even questioning whether or not you're telling the truth, okay? Like how dare you question what I'm telling you, okay? As if you don't have the right to question what is the information that is being told to you, okay? Another way of spotting a covert narcissist, and this is the most important, I would say, is always give people the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because you don't want to be suspicious of everybody and be paranoid, but always keep in mind that there's two sides to every story, and to give it time, okay? Give it time. Question, like, well, how did the abuse affect the other people that were in the so-called situation that they're relaying about? Like one time, you know, there was a narcissist, diagnosed narcissist, okay, that was relaying information about to a doctor, psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist, and she was telling the doctor how her husband was abusing her and how he was a drunk and just making all these wild accusations about her husband. So the doctor wanted specific details, times, places, and events that this occurred. And she got annoyed that the doctor was asking her for more details and just didn't take her word for it face value. It's like they want you to believe them simply because they're telling you this information. Okay. Another thing about them is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, is ever their fault. Nothing. Okay. You could say, well, how much of the responsibility do you hold towards that? Okay. And they won't ever hold themselves accountable for anything. No. Oh, it's not my fault that this, that, or that happened. Really? Like, for example, in my situation, I had done some videos and I had talked about how I feel that my son is a narcissist. Whether he has narcissistic personality disorder is not for me to say, but he's highly narcissistic. And I hold myself partly to blame because my parenting skills weren't the best. I was a single mother. I had a baby. I had him when I was 17 years old. Life dealt me a lousy set of cards. Still, that's no excuse. I did the best that I could, but unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to raise a healthy child, to raise a child into a healthy adult. And that's unfortunate. I've made mistakes. I've made bad mistakes, which I humbly and deeply regret, but I did the best that I could. I wish I could go back and fix things, but I can't. You will never see humility with a narcissist. They're just not humble. They can fake humility, but you'll never see genuine humility with a narcissist. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, so those are some red flags to look at. Remember, folks, that this type of narcissist, the narcissist that plays the victim, is one that'll snag an empath almost every time. Okay? They'll get you. They'll get you. So when somebody is playing the victim role, make sure that you really take the time to get to the truth. Otherwise, the truth, as the narcissist is telling you, is basically their interpretation of the truth and not merely the raw truth. So that's all I've got to say for this one. I hope this information has helped some people. I know it's been a while since I've done videos. Very busy person. And, I just wanted to get back on here and talk to y'all. And just hope that everyone's doing okay, and catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.